My boyfriend said to stop being so embarrassing while I was giving birth to our baby. My 20F boyfriend, 20M, said that I was embarrassing him while I was giving birth to our baby. We have been in a relationship for 1 year and we had a baby boy last week. I had a natural birth and my BF was there throughout the whole process. I screamed a lot and each time I did he whispered something like, "Can you stop screaming? You're really embarrassing me." I also threw up a few times and I saw him cover his face in shame. When I held the midwife's hand for comfort, he whispered, "Let go of her. Stop being so embarrassing." He also said that my birthing position was embarrassing and called me a few vulgar names. I'm really upset about his behavior that day, especially when it was when I needed his support the most. When I try to talk to him about it, he denies ever saying it and that I'm being silly. Edit. I know that there are a lot of comments, but I am reading them all, and I just want to thank everybody for the advice and support so far. I spoke to my mom about this, but she is the very traditional type, and although she said his behavior is wrong, I should try couple counseling first. I really don't think he is going to listen to me when I suggest getting help, but I'll try. I am also going to talk to my public health nurse. Edit 2. Thank you so much to everybody who commented and DM'd me with words of support and those who have also been in similar situations. I have since tried to discuss the option of couple counseling to him, but to no avail, which didn't surprise me. My mom has agreed to let me stay there until I can find a new place for myself and baby. I haven't said anything to him yet. I've been advised not to, so I am still planning out how I am going to take the next step. Some info. He isn't very helpful with baby. I do absolutely everything. He uses the excuse that he works, so I should do the childcare. He does the fun stuff, but I do all the hard work. He refused to go to the antenatal classes because men don't go. I was the only person there without a partner. I felt awful. Baby wasn't planned. I was on the pill and I was taking some medication that I didn't know affected the effectiveness of it. Update. Thank you so much for everyone's advice and support, both through messages and on the original post. I want to update as many people were very concerned and I promised it to a few people. Reading people's responses reassured me about how serious the situation was and how I'd be stupid if I stayed in the relationship and allowed it to get worse. I spoke to my mom, who recommended couple counseling, and if that didn't work then I would be allowed to live with my parents. I then approached him when he came home and gave him an ultimatum. I told him he can either continue to ignore that he acted horribly during the birth and other numerous times, or he can admit to how he has treated me and apologize and get counseling. But obviously he continued to gaslight me and got extremely angry to the point where he was screaming at both me and the baby. He ended up storming out to his best friends. I was also advised against couple counseling by many of you, as you said it often encourages an abuser's behavior, which made a lot of sense, and I wish I read that before speaking to him. My mom came round after he left and said he's an asshole, and even though she doesn't agree with single parenting, she thought anything would be better than staying with him and enabling his behavior. He has tried to visit me and the baby since, as he guessed I was at my mom's. Both my mom and I have told him it's over and that we're leaving the rest down to the courts. I will be telling my solicitor everything, so who knows what the custody arrangements will be. I'm just glad that myself and my baby are out of there and I can finally enjoy being a mother. Yesterday I went shopping and bought what I wanted instead of what he wanted, and I never felt so free since before I met him. To many people that will sound ridiculous, but quite frankly he controlled every single aspect of my life. However, I am planning on going to therapy as I feel like the bad experience I had at my birth, as well as his abuse in other areas, has left a profound effect on me. I also called a few domestic abuse hotlines and they gave some brilliant advice. Thank you to whoever it was that sent me those. What was weird was the best friend he went over to see actually contacted me yesterday to say how happy he is to hear that I'm leaving him. He said he noticed how unhappy he made me and how disrespectful he is around women as a whole, and that the abuse didn't exist just towards me but to his colleagues also. So it's good to know that I have a few people on my side. No doubt things will be constantly changing from now until the foreseeable future, and I am terrified, but the main thing is that I'm away from him and me and my son are safe, and that I'm feeling empowered enough to know that the way he treated me was 100% wrong and that he will pay the right price as long as I fight for it. Thanks again. I won't forget all of you that helped in the time when I needed it the most. Edit. I'm seeing a lot of people wondering how couple counseling often encourages or worsens a partner's abusive behavior, so I just thought I'd include it here. From what I have read and looked into about this, it isn't a good idea for abusive partners, as they will often play the good person in front of the counselor, which can lead to them using it against you in the future. For example, you're the only person who thinks that I'm a bad person. Even the counselor knows I'm a good boyfriend or girlfriend. Some more info. Unfortunately, his parents were similar to how he is, and they either don't take his actions seriously, just don't care, or find it funny. His mom actually laughs whenever I used to mention the mistreatment to her, and she'd just say, "That's what men are." A lot of people are getting the misconception that the birthing incident is the only time he has ever mistreated me, which is fair enough because it's what I felt the most strongly about and wanted to seek support for. However, in my OP I didn't speak about him cutting me off from my friends and family, not allowing me out of the house, the financial control, the constant name-calling, guilt-tripping, and manipulation. But even if you didn't know any of that was going on, I am just baffled that you think it's plausible for anybody to speak to somebody they're supposed to love and care for in that way. How is it acceptable for him to call me vulgar names while I was in a certain position giving birth to our baby? Telling me that I was embarrassing him because my body was doing things natural in that moment? Screaming and holding onto the midwife. And I never once said that I am stopping him from seeing his baby. However, I am going to leave it up to the courts because I simply don't know what he is capable of. He is a scary person and I don't want my son growing up feeling any of the things I did during my relationship with his dad. Second story. My fiancé wants his father to check my hymen tomorrow night to confirm that I am still pure. Should I go through with it? My 22F fiancé, 25M, proposed to me about 8 months ago. We decided on having a relatively small wedding, which is in 2 days. Everything was going great. He seems absolutely perfect and we are very much in love. We both have never slept with anyone before. He wanted to save it for marriage and I wasn't fussed, so I agreed to saving it. He has told me earlier that in his family the father checks the virginity of the bride the night before the wedding. I laughed this off as it seriously sounds like a massive joke. No, turns out he was dead serious. He wants me the night before to open my legs up in a small ceremony type thing so his dad can check me while his brothers and uncle can watch so that they know I am still pure. I told him fat chance I am going to do that and he was begging to me to go through with it and how important it is for him. He said he knew it was slightly embarrassing for me, but his mom did, and it will prove how much I love him and that I have nothing to hide anyway as I am still a virgin. I left and he was crying. It was very dramatic, to be honest. I want to call off the whole wedding because of this and never talk to him again. But at the same time, it's only one thing, and other than that we are genuinely perfect for each other and I don't want to spend my life with anyone else, and it is very important to him and his family. What the frick frack do I do? I am currently at my friend's house and I might stay here for the night. Tomorrow would be our last day as an unmarried couple and I am straight up panicking. Update. First of all, thank you so much for all the replies. I didn't think this would get so big. I have read pretty much all of them. Special shout out goes to the person who says this was fake solely on the fact that I write like a man, whatever that means, lol. Also thanks for all the gold and silver. It's appreciated, although if you want to spend money, give it to charity or something. So, this morning I talked to my fiancé about this. I told him straight up that his dad is not going to look at me, and he needs to respect that. But he was super stubborn and kept saying it had to happen, accusing me of lying about my virginity. I tried to stay calm and reasonable, but he just got angrier and angrier. I told him that if he really loved me, he'd back me up and tell his dad no. Instead, he slapped me and said he didn't need to prove anything. That was it for me. I ended it and left him. Now I'm back at my friend's house, feeling pretty miserable and eating pizza, which is pretty fun. So yup, thanks everyone.